Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I apologize to our lovely editor.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Okay, Remington, we've done a lot to apologize, that we kind of need to apologize to Dylan for. Like, that much is true. That much is true. We've given him a lot of long episodes, we've given him a lot of bad things to edit, breaking the fourth wall a little bit here. I share a wall with Dylan, and he can sometimes hear me when I'm podcasting, and he just sent me a message saying exactly. So, yeah, love you, buddy. So, you know, we've also done a lot of long last-minute episodes for him, so I'm going to try and keep this nice, short, and brief, get some nice, good, tight goofs in, describe the anime for you, and, you know, we'll be on our merry way. How does that sound, Rem?
Sounds fantastic. Let's do this.
All right, let's keep it nice and brief. Rem, last week we talked about a fun little rom-com where the rom was the thing you hated the most, which, you know, that's fair.
So now we do a rom-com where I hate the com.
You know, that would have been better. But instead, I've gone all in on the com. Because I figured, hey, Rem, you know what? Let's do a pure comedy anime that doesn't really have any romance in it at all. And anything that be considered romance is, quite frankly, a joke.
Okay.
Because, you know what we haven't done in a long time, Rem?
What haven't we done?
A pure comedy where all of the characters are just the worst people on the face of the planet, and they are written on purpose to be that. Okay,
so we're watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia today.
I mean, in a way, we kind of are. Not literally, but in a way, like, similar vibes. It's an anime this time around, because I don't, as much as I love Danny DeVito, I don't know if he can be considered a waifu.
Hey, how dare you besmirch his name?
Sorry, Danny DeVito is best girl. That is
Let me tell you right now, all right?
Yeah.
Weeb's listening to this podcast, right? Including you, Shaun.
Okay. I'm recording it, but I suppose I'm listening to it too.
In your mind, picture your number one waifu right now, all right?
Okay.
All right. You got them envisaged in your mind?
There are a couple out there, but yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
Sure, why not? All right. Replace them all with Danny DeVito, objectively a better decision, all right? Your waifu is trash compared to Mr. DeVito.
Oh, God. Oh, God, the one I picked was fucking Olivier Armstrong, and I don't think you've met her, from Full Metal Alchemist.
But I mean Armstrong.
Yeah, she's Armstrong's older sister, and she's a general and a dominating hardass.
Now imagine Danny DeVito in that exact role. No changes.
Most confused boner of my life. Here's a picture of her just for frame of reference, because I need you to know what I'm having to picture.
Danny DeVito would kill it. But also, I've already ruined whatever show you're about to show me, Shaun, because the problem is, now, the fact that it won't have Danny DeVito is going to be a disappointment. And I'm just going to be thinking, man, this would be better if every character was Danny DeVito.
I mean,
when are we going to crowdfund the Danny DeVito anime? Where every character, Danny DeVito gets isekai'd to a world full of Danny DeVitos.
I mean, to be fair, it's wild that we haven't had bits about Danny DeVito in the past. Or if we have, I've forgotten them. Because, like, let's be real. He fits in, like, with the theming of our podcast so well. After all, he tries to offer people eggs in their trying time. Like,
and not only that, but if we're celebrating Eggfest, then also, he is egg-shaped.
He is egg-shaped. Not to mention, like, starting blasting. Like, that's exactly what a lot of people do in anime. Like, really, Danny DeVito is the anime protagonist that we all can aspire to be. He's best girl. He's the best protagonist.
Replace every bland bitch protagonist in every anime. Replace Kirito. Boom. Danny DeVito. Replace Asuna. Boom. Danny DeVito.
He plays both roles. It's not
He
just
plays both roles.
Rather than Danny DeVito seducing somebody, it's just Danny DeVito seducing Danny DeVito and going on wacky adventures with Danny DeVito.
Hell yes.
Oh my god, that's a much better anime than what we're going to talk about today, but I feel like that would be the case no matter what anime we were talking about today. Holy shit. But no, Rem, no. Unfortunately, Danny DeVito is nowhere to be seen. We can always picture him in our hearts. Now today, Remington, we're going to be doing an anime about a subgenre of people that we've rarely covered, and that's college students, Rem.
Oh, shit.
I know, fucking adults, but also adults in one of the most volatile places where adults can be, college. So, Rem,
All right.
I gotta ask you, what would you picture in an anime about college-age students but in a frat-style scenario? What kind of images do that conjure in your head?
I unironically, I don't know, because that's so alien from anything we've seen.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't, let me put it this way, like, in young adult American shows, a party is a very frequent setting.
Yes.
In anime, celebrations are common, but like a house party is unheard of.
Yeah, like wild parties with raucous amounts of alcohols, loud music, and a bunch of really douchey people running around and doing stupid things.
And
like,
if you're talking about like the fraternity college experience, like that's at the heart of it.
Yeah, and that is fairly exclusively an American experience, like the fraternity lifestyle specifically.
Yeah,
but like a
lot of non-Americans are always shocked to hear, yes, red Solo cups are, you're damn right they're a thing.
Yeah, they are very much a thing. But the idea of a raucous, over-the-top alcohol-fueled party, I feel like is universal.
Yeah.
And Remington, the anime I have for you today is simply called Grand Blue or Grand Blue Dreaming. That's the alternate title. And
okay.
The whole premise of this series is a bunch of asshole college students going to college at a beach town and occasionally going scuba diving mixed in with a bunch of like horrible, heinous college shenanigans, usually drinking themselves stupid.
Sure, why not? All right, let's see how it goes.
That's the whole show, Rem.
I like Grand Blue Dreaming sounds like it's supposed to be some like heartfelt, cerebral, thoughtful kind of show.
No.
It's just not that.
No, Rem, like, the premise of the show is the main character, Iori Kitahara, he goes to a coastal town for his freshman years, taking residence at a place called Grand Blue, which is a scuba diving shop.
Okay.
Since it's a college town, everywhere they go, there are college parties, and a lot of college parties are held there because there's a lot of people going scuba diving and having fun, and literally the first thing that happens when he shows up is he walks into a room full of people playing strip, rock, paper, scissors, and the whole show is literally just overly dramatic reactions, fraternity-style college dumbassery, all horrible people, and goofs. Like, this show has been the show and the manga have been such a source of really horrible, ugly reaction images that I just adore.
Okay.
Like, I've probably sent some of them to you in the past, like back when I had my huge collection of anime-themed reaction images. Like, maybe this face will seem familiar to you. It's very much a...
Okay, yep.
Yeah, like, it is a gold mine for reaction faces and images, and everybody in it is completely awful, and, like, the author is unapologetic about making them awful. They are, like, the most disgusting people on the face of the planet. It's a bunch of bros and dudes getting people drunk, and, like, it's a weird experience, but a lot of people say it's very funny and very entertaining, and I will say, the faces alone, pretty great. So really, Rem, what you've got to do is go into this, like, new territory, break it down, and see if there's anything to be gained from here, or if people should just stick to using it for bits and reaction images.
All right, well, let's go watch, and, in part 2 of the podcast, Shaun and I will both share what character we think Danny DeVito should play in the live-action remake.
aside from all of them, because after all, that's cheating.
Of course.
Yeah, we gotta be specific. So without further ado, let's get started. No, that's not how you
No,
do.
not at all.
That's how I start a podcast recording. Fuck me. Okay. So without further ado, let's go watch some Grand Blue. Hey, that rhymed. I did not expect to hear Adam Sandler today. Why does he keep following me everywhere I go, Remington? And we are back after watching 3 whole episodes of Grand Blue. Now, Remington, I didn't lie to you. I feel like I was very upfront and honest about what this show was about, was I not?
And yet still, somehow, some important details were left out.
Were they?
Particularly the incest love triangle?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a bit weird too, personally, but little mistakes.
Which the show doesn't, the show really does not care about the incest of that. In fact, it just thinks, oh yeah, that's fine, that's normal, that's okay.
Right.
But in reality, it's real fucking weird, and no one, there's all the other parts of the show, right, where people are being weird or shitty, the show is pretty aware of. Right. The show knows.
It's just the one thing. That's just literally the one thing. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the show. We have our main character Iori. He shows up at the beach with his uncle. They get to Grand Blue. He stares at a girl in a bikini or whatever. But when he enters Grand Blue, there's dicks everywhere. Just everywhere there's penis.
Just loose everywhere.
Yeah, and Iori is like, that is a bit much. Which, fair. Honestly, reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've said it once before, I'll say it again. The worst kind of dick is unexpected.
It's true. You need to be mentally prepared.
And nobody could have been mentally prepared for the sheer quantity. The sheer quantity of
just
penis on display.
Absolutely everywhere. So Iori runs away, but a couple of the guys, they follow him, bring him back, and are like, you need to join our club, and our little diving club, right? And Iori is like, I can't even swim. And they're like, that's fine, don't worry about it. Then later Iori meets / sees again his cousin. Started with an N. Nanaka. There we go. Naka? I don't know.
Yeah, no, Nanaka. That's the older sister.
Yeah, Nanaka is his older cousin, right? And he chats with her a little bit. But eventually the guys coerce Iori into getting drunk and also getting naked. Where the pretty girl that Iori saw earlier, that he was just sort of peeping at, she shows up, right? And she sees Iori drunk and triumphant, but then he gets embarrassed, being like, shit, I embarrassed myself in front of a very pretty girl who's also my cousin. And then we learn that Nanaka is in love with her sister, Chisa. And so you just got a weird love triangle between him and his 2 cousins. What?
Don't worry about it, Rem. Don't worry about it.
Why?
Look, sometimes these things happen in a show where they want to write the worst people possible.
No,
they also have one of the worst, romance bits possible, which I feel like I mentioned in the first
All right, well, but Shaun, imagine, right?
Right.
I'm making this show, right? And it's all about people doing terrible things, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, oh man, he said something racist, isn't he? Crazy, isn't he shitty? Oh man, he did something inappropriate, isn't that a little bit shitty? Oh man, he's getting too drunk, isn't that shitty? And then he kicks a puppy, and then we move on and he's doing this other thing, and you're like, wait, and don't you want to also emphasize that the puppy kicking was shitty? You emphasized everything else. You emphasized everything else in such a way that the fact that you didn't emphasize that kicking puppies is bad makes me wonder. It puts a little bit of doubt in my mind whether you think it is.
So you're saying there's not enough emphasis on the weird incest love triangle?
I think there's not enough condemnation of it, and by not enough, I mean there's none. Absolutely zero. But you know what there is condemnation for? He gets a little too drunk, but his new companions are like, well, make sure you get to orientation at school on time. He wakes up just in his bathing suit at school. He's embarrassed. But this is also where we meet another one of the main characters, Kohei, who is an otaku. My man is a goddamn weeb. And the show does give proper condemnation to that. The show is like, wow, what a loser.
So
according to this show, all right, on the record, this show thinks that being a weeb is worse than being in an incestuous love triangle. I'd put them both pretty far down, but this show views one as significantly better than the other, and it's not the one most would expect.
I feel like, Rem, you're trying to suggest something to me that I feel like I should be deeply hurt by.
Are you in an incestuous love triangle?
No, I am definitely not. And
that's probably fine.
That's probably okay. Cool.
Anyway, Kohei ends up coerced into joining the group as well. Then we have the little outro, and the outro, quite fitting, right? It's naked drunk karaoke with the boys.
Yeah.
Because,
what else could it be?
Who doesn't get drunk, strip naked, and start singing passionately and closely with your boys?
You gotta sing with the homies. And clothes just get in the way sometimes.
They get in the way of the passion.
The passion is what's important. And I mean, after all, this show also gives wonderful life lessons, Remington. After all, ask for oolong tea. As long as it's the same color, it's basically oolong tea.
It's true. It doesn't matter if it's 100% alcohol. It is oolong tea.
Yeah, and water is clear, vodka is clear. Basically the same thing. You can drink both.
I will say, they have already overused that joke.
They have.
In the 3 episodes I've seen, they have featured it in every episode multiple times, I believe. Which, can get old fast. What could have been a fun one-off. They're seeing really just how much mileage they can get out of it.
Well, there's no alcohol in the second episode, Rem.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, they just do it multiple times, like a ton in episode 1 and 3, but not at all in episode 2, so don't worry.
Yeah, nah, you gotta space these things out, Rem.
Episode 2, Iori feeling a little bit exhausted that he has ended up drinking with the boys for 2 nights in a row. The first 2 nights he was here, he hasn't even unpacked yet, right? So, he's like, okay, I should settle down a little bit. But then the boys are like, oh, we were gonna get drunk with the girls tonight. And Iori is like, I'm horny. I want to drink with the girls. But the older cousin, Nanika, she's like, hey, no, you need to be responsible. And so they're like, okay, if I can show that I'm responsible and like I'm packing everything, then I can go. So the boys help him out, and I'm just going to keep calling them the boys because they don't really have identities beyond that. They're the boys.
I mean, they have names.
Do they matter?
If you want to distinguish your boys from one another.
Thus far, that's unnecessary. Thus far, the boys sort of are a hive mind of alcohol, shenanigans, and booze. And titties.
And nakedness.
But they have not, the boys have not differentiated each other from each other, all right?
Well, I mean, one's got, like, blonde hair, the other one's got, like, a closer, like, dark shaved style, like, they've got their differences.
There you go. Now, you've given the description, now they know how to picture the boys.
Yeah.
So the boys help Iori out, and they're like, oh, you know what really is the symbol of an independent man? Pornography everywhere. So Nanika walks in and she's like, oh dear God, oh my God. She gets briefly traumatized. Chisa later walks in on them just watching porn together.
That's something you do with the homies, right? Right?
I will say, it's weird to me that, like, it seemed like a lot of adolescent guys, for some reason, watched porn together with the homies at some point in their lives.
Wait,
like, that's a surprisingly
I was making a joke. Is
common
that something
thing.
that actually happens?
That's a thing that I have heard numerous accounts.
I was making a goof.
No, that's a thing that some people, for some reason, I'm not saying like everyone's doing it, but I'm saying
You've heard multiple eyewitness accounts.
yeah, it's not a one-off that I've heard of, you know?
Like a one weird thing one weird person did with a group of weird friends, but like this is like a multiple situation scenario.
Yeah, it's just like, haha, let's just go watch titties together. Man, isn't that sexy, I guess? I don't know.
What's the
look,
goal? What's the goal?
I don't know. Because often it's a bunch of like straight guys, and I feel like, with all due respect,
Maybe should reassess?
maybe you should reassess. Like, it would be a more enjoyable time if it wasn't a bunch of straight guys. Like, if you can enjoy each other's company as well, like, hey man, you're halfway there. Just have a think. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm missing something. Nonetheless, now that they've alienated Nanaka and Chisa, who neither one of them really have much character going on, if I'm being honest. Then again, the person with the most character is the otaku, whose character is, he's a pedophile, and as we'll see in this next scene where the boys invite him over to help decorate and put a bunch of lollies on the wall. Now, some people will be lolly defenders and they'll be like, hey, wait a minute, Remington, etc., etc., etc. Hold on. I'm not necessarily talking about that, though that should raise some eyebrows. What I'm talking about is apparently the way the boys lured him over was, we don't know the details, but Kohei says something along the lines of wanting to see a video of a middle school girl. And yeah, so Kohei, buddy, that's fucked.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
But like, even more than the show presents it as yet again, because the show is like, haha, he's a lolicon, he's an otaku, like that's just sort of under that umbrella. But like, I feel like that should be a much bigger deal yet again. It's like, I feel like our priorities are not straight here. Like, don't get me wrong, they're bad characters, haha, it makes sense. But like, why are you emphasizing certain things over other things that definitely deserve to be emphasized? It's uncomfortable. Even in our first scene, we saw Kohei, slightly better but still god-awful. He was like, why are there no high school girls in college? Which, I mean, buddy, my man. But yeah, so Kohei's fucked. He has the most character, and it's not a great one. It's a little bit of a clusterfuck, I'll be honest. The episode ends... Alright. The episode ends, after all is said and done, with Iori going to the aquarium with Nanaka. And they have this, like, big underwater tunnel scene, right? And they just talk about, like, what diving means to be under the water, and how Chisa wants to actually, like, bond with him with that. He gets a little souvenir for Chisa. They bond in that way, which is a really weird and earnest way to try and end this episode. Let me say it right now. This show should never try to be earnest. The fact that it tried to, for the latter, like, third to a quarter of the episode, I don't know if the show knows what it is anymore. Suddenly, I thought it had a strong identity. I thought it was like, yeah, look, I know what I am, don't worry. But all of a sudden, it thinks that they can at least sometimes be heartfelt, and I hate to break it to you, Grand Blue, but no, you fucking can't. I don't know who told you that, like, oh man, you know what this show needs? We need to have some heartfelt moments, some sincerity and earnesty. No, God, no, not in this. It's anathema to this show. It is toxic to this show. Yeah, some shows can balance the little chuckle fuck jokes and the, like, hit you hard in the feelings, right? Some can. Grand Blue cannot.
So wait, Rem, you're telling me that 2/3 of an episode that's all about decorating a dude's room in a variety of lewd materials as a gag, and the reactions based around that, you probably shouldn't end it with, like, emotions and dates and feelings. You should probably end it with more ridiculous goofs.
Probably, especially because it's not even like, oh, okay, it's a funny narrative that ends in a little bit of a dramatic conclusion. No, it's like funny slapstick nonsense with little point, right? And then all of a sudden add some weird character-driven, heartfelt nonsense. Where the fuck did that come from? Because it did not come from what we had just seen.
Well, hey, look on the bright side. At least they don't continue that in episode 3.
Oh, God. So, episode 3, to get some money, the boys want Kohei and Iori to enter the Spring Festival Men's Beauty Pageant to get some prize money for the club. Kohei, because he's a pretty boy, will enter for the proper prize, and Iori will enter for the joke prize. Even though, and a lot of anime have this problem, they're just as pretty as one another. Anime is really bad at differentiating beauty standards. It's like, oh man, Iori, he could never be beautiful. He's just a soft boy with a six-pack. No girl wants that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, to be fair, nobody wants Iori. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, but not for the reasons he would... Not for reasons that you'd see in a beauty pageant. It's for every other reason. Then they're like, oh, but you can get out of it if you can convince Chisa to enter the pageant. Enter the female pageant, because she'll obviously win and get the money. So then you'll be safe. We also meet...
Can I just say one thing as well?
Yeah.
It's wild that they need money, but considering how much money they must have spent decorating his room last episode.
Oh, it's true. Like, thousands.
It would explain why they're in debt if they spent all of their club funds on trying to make the guy happy while horribly misunderstanding.
Yeah. We also meet Azusa. Azusa is she's just one of the boys, man. She's one of the dudes, bro. She'll party and get drunk and take off her clothes and be lewd, and she watches pornography like the boys. So that's her character, I guess. Do not give a shit. Eventually Chisa agrees to do it, but the boys still have to embarrass themselves. And that's the point of episode 3. All right, so that's Granblue.
And Ren, it might come as a shock to you, but I don't think anybody's going to complain to me for not showing you more episodes than
yeah,
the 3.
It's not like this is a masterpiece. It's surprisingly good visually. It has some, like, really strong visuals at times, where, like, the lighting effects, they go weirdly all out. Some of the best being in the outro, the little karaoke sequence. Some of the humor is pretty decent. A lot of the humor isn't. Anytime they try to be serious is not good. And also, the show, once again, while it's about bad people, sometimes I don't think it knows why they are bad people. Sometimes I think it's the wrong message. It's like it's like someone burning your grandma alive and dumping their ashes on the road and being like, hey, what a shitty litterer. And I'm like, is that the message? Is that the PSA? Because I feel like there's an elephant in the room that really should be talked about instead.
Yeah, but no, it's fine. Just remember that otaku are creeps, and, tea, as long as it's the same color, you can drink it, and it's tea. It's fine. You know?
Oh, man. It was a journey. It was a journey. I think that overall, it's not good. It's certainly not great, but it's watchably bad. It's like, I don't know, a 3.5 to a 4 out of 10, that it's not actively painful to watch usually, but that's because most times it doesn't give much of a shit. Which, you know, it's watchable, but it's not interesting.
I mean, it has some of the best reaction images in the business, as far as I'm concerned.
The reaction images are great. Genuinely, probably the best thing to come from the show. I can't think of much else it does in like a notable way. Because the rest is all within the standard deviation of like, yeah, that's pretty decent, or yeah, it's not great. But the reactions are very good.
Well, Rem, I knew this was going to be a complex title, but I had to show it to you, Rem. I watched it recently and I thought to myself, well, this is a fucking disaster. And I think I'm enjoying the disaster? Weirdly. Like, everything about it screams, what the fuck, what is going on? But you can't look away. I've come to realize.
I think this is good second monitor viewing.
Yes.
I like this isn't something you sit down, you're like, oh man, a brand new episode of Grand Blue came out, can't wait. No, this is like, fuck, what I need to have something on while I eat. I guess I'll put on some Grand Blue. Right. It's
and occasionally something will catch your eye and then you'll be like, what the fuck is going on? And have to scroll back a little bit to try and get context. And then you find out that the context doesn't really matter.
Yeah, precisely.
But
I will also say that if you were to say like the sort of main three are Iori, Kohei, and Chisa, I know which anime out of context boys go to each spot.
Hey, Rem, I don't think you should make that comparison.
I
don't.
Is it because you know where you are, Shaun?
No, I think it's because 2 out of 3 are the scum of the earth.
Well, it's a good thing that I'm in neither of those.
I was hoping you wouldn't make the comparison, Rem. I was hoping you wouldn't make the comparison, but here we are. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna let you...
You're the weeb, right?
I don't like that.
Dylan is a little bit on the quieter side, but can get a little bit wily if you rile him up a bit, you know. And I'm just trapped with you, chuckle fucks. I'm the tsundere.
I see. Well, hey, that's a fun sound clip for Dylan to use later. Well, Rem, if you had to take a shot in the dark, what do you think the mouse score for this show is?
Okay, what I'm trying to see if I should calculate or not, I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to sort of like guess whether this show has a weird cult fan base. I'm going to guess no. So I'm going to guess that the vast majority of people just sort of like watch it, maybe vaguely remember it and move on. I'm going to guess like 7.31.
Okay.
Maybe even 7.22.
Okay. Well, Remington, with 379,000 ratings.
It's way higher than I thought already.
Oh, yeah. No, this came out in a very, like, stacked year with a lot of really good shows, which meant people watched everything.
Oh, God.
2018, year we started the podcast. And with that many people, Grand Blue Dreaming is sitting nice and pretty at an 8.43.
What the fuck? What?
Yup.
Huh?
What's the matter, Rem?
What am I missing?
People thought it was funny. People thought it was funny. Plain and simple. They liked a lot of the shenanigans. They liked a lot of the reaction images. They liked a lot of the assholes getting the shit beat out of them occasionally. Lot of that. And it's very much not like anything else we've covered in a lot of ways. So, like, the uniqueness of it makes it stand out for a lot of people.
What the fuck?
Oh, goodness. I knew that was going to be your reaction, Rem. As soon as you said the first syllable of 7, I was like, oh, Rem is going to be flabbergasted.
Yeah, I am.
Do you want me to click through some reviews, see if we can get to the meat of it?
No, I don't want the brain rot.
Yeah.
Whatever has infected their brain, I don't want it.
You don't want the brain worm to be thrown in there for you?
No.
Because it's mostly a lot of people saying, "Oh man, it was funny. It was
I
really
guess
stupid and really funny."
It's above average for like the comedy in that there were some decent moments. There weren't any amazing moments, and there were still a bunch of bad moments.
Okay, this one doesn't make sense to me. They broke down their review in like little parts. First of all, they gave everything a 10 out of 10, which blows my fucking mind.
Holy shit.
That should not happen. But the first thing that blows my mind is like their first tab is story. They gave it a 10 out of 10. Keep that in mind.
What?
And then they followed up with their justification, which is overall the story isn't truly a story.
Then how can you give it a 10 out of 10?
Oh no, the brain rot.
You can't give it a 10 out of 10 on story if you don't think it has a goddamn story. That's not how that works. Oh man, the car wash that I got at Domino's Pizza, 10 out of 10. Oh, they do car washes? No, I didn't get a car wash there. Then what the fuck are you saying? What are you talking about? What conversation are we in?
There are a lot of very inane reviews like that. Some of them are just like I said, I like the jokes. I liked a lot of the stupid humor. It's stupid fun is what most people are describing it as. And like
a stupid fun doesn't get an 8.4.
It does if enough people give it an 8 out of 10.
You all have lost your goddamn minds.
No, so, legitimately, the stat breakdown for this one makes no fucking sense.
You know what this is?
What's that,
John? Let me level with you.
Okay.
This, and Grand Blue and all of its fans are the weeb equivalent of Adam Sandler watchers. The ones who watch every Adam Sandler flick are like, oh man, they're great. It's so funny.
Holy shit.
That's what we have uncovered here.
Holy shit, Rem. That's harsh. I think that's too harsh, Rem.
No, it's accurate.
I feel like that's going to get you in trouble. Because if one person laughed at this show, they're going to be like, no. You can't compare it to Adam Sandler. You can't do that.
Hey, some Adam Sandler movies have a couple of good jokes.
Name one.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Interesting, Rem. Huh, interesting.
But considering the man has dozens and dozens of movies that are wildly popular, there's got to be at least a couple good jokes in a couple of movies.
Rem, you made me watch 2 Adam Sandler movies.
Hey, with that attitude, we'll make it 3.
I will kill you, sir. I did not expect to hear Adam Sandler today. Why does he keep following me everywhere I go, Remington? I don't want him. Can we keep him out of the podcast, please?
We'll see. I'm excited for next week where we have guest star Adam Sandler.
God almighty. If Adam Sandler decided to join a podcast about reviewing anime for an episode, I feel like the world would implode. Like, if I got an email from Adam Sandler's agent saying like, hey, we hear you make fun of him. Would you like him on the show? I couldn't say no to that. And I'd have to be
all in.
I'd have to be civil the whole time. And it'd be like, so we're gonna be watching, the show where the main character loves his little sister. So what do you think about that, Adam? I don't think it would ever happen. And if it did, I would have to hold all of my opinions because I'd be like, oh man, this is a really big famous dude and this could be really good for our podcast in a weird way because it's like, hey, why is Adam Sandler jumping on an anime podcast?
Genuine question, Shaun.
Yeah.
How do you think Adam Sandler would respond? Because I think, oddly enough, I think I would find an ally in Adam Sandler. I think he is so distanced from like weeby anything that he would be just as bewildered, and weirdly, he and I would be of the same mind.
I
think I would find an unlikely ally in Adam Sandler.
I don't want to think about you finding an ally in Adam Sandler. It's just wrong, Rem. It's just not what we need for our show. And, like, now I'm gonna forever
Holy shit.
What?
Holy shit.
What?
I swear. Alright, so here's what Alright. I want to take you on this journey with me, Shaun.
Okay.
I want you right now to Google Adam Sandler anime.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this, okay?
No, alright. So, the first result will be 8 Crazy Nights.
Factually incorrect, but okay.
The next result is from Reddit, right?
Adam Sandler vibe in anime?
I want you to click on that. They're looking... Their friend is really into Adam Sandler movies. They're looking for something like that, but for anime. Look at the first comment. Look at the first fucking comment.
What the actual shit?
Read the first comment for me.
If you want dumb guys drinking and doing dumb shit, then maybe try Grand Blue.
There we fucking go! I swear to God! I swear to God! This is completely spontaneous.
Posted 2 years ago!
Holy shit! I feel
What
so
the fuck?
vindicated!
What the fuck?
It's the only response. Oh wait, no, it's not the only one. There are others, but oh my God, that's so good. That's the number one response. That's holy shit.
It has 0 points on our anime. That means one person downvoted it. Oh no, wait, it's 40% upvoted, so that means 60% of the people were like, "No, we can't have this.
We cannot have an Adam Sandler vibe." But then one person was like, Grand Blue. That's so fucking good. I haven't. There's a lot of times, right, where I'll make a comparison that I feel is like it's really good, but then I'll second guess myself. Oh, it feels so good to be so immediately vindicated.
I need a drink. I need a drink. I'm gonna go get some water. This is some fuck. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck?
What a great way to end the episode.
I need a drink. Okay. I suppose final question is, Rem, any chance you'd like to watch more Grand Blue sometime?
No, I'm not very interested in watching Jack and Jill, thank you.
Jack and Jill is so much worse than this, Rem. You have no fucking clue. You have no fucking clue how much worse it is.
No, that's fair.
At least this is different, I guess. I don't know.
What about compared to some of Adam Sandler's higher rated ones? See, maybe that's a more fair comparison. Oh,
I just can't see it. I can't mentally see it. I just can't see it. Like my brain is not connecting the dots. Like it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. Fuck me running. Let's just end the episode. Let's end the episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy my arch nemesis Adam Sandler constantly harassing me from the void, even though he doesn't really know I exist, then please leave us a review on whatever platform you listen on, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, wherever. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where myself, Dylan, and Remington do occasionally play video games. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
Special shout out to Adam Sandler, but
no. Adam Sandler will never know we exist. That's just the fact that we've got to live with, Rem, and I am okay with that fact. Because if he did know he exists and listened to a clip of us saying these things, I don't know how slander works completely. But I feel like he would try and throw some Adam slander at us, to be specific.
Oh, man. We want to send our thanks to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. Moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are forcing us to watch a 24-hour Adam Sandler marathon.
I would kill myself.
That list! We have Drunk Quetzalcoatl for Anime Out of Context Mascot, says Miska Miska, earnestly expecting praise and a reward. Zombie Stomp, Xanax, you think I'm the worst, because when I ask you to suck my dick, you take out your Invisalign first. Yandere Neko, wondering who has bigger sword, Remington or Kirito. Why Shaun, Huvo, weekly haiku about Shaun, just him and syrup, nights of real pleasure, but Judy can't know. How cursed.
That is beyond cursed.
Layers and layers of cursed. War never changes. Shaun, did you know Azure Lane is coming to White Swords? Walk me home gently. Way to Shell, totally God's angel. Titan CNH, the villain behind glasses. The Susanator, the Big Bean. Turban, Tainted Venom. Syrup the Turtle. Oh god. Spicitis, Side Secondary. Show Remington Evangelion already for charity. Shoujo Addict who doesn't need help, just more manga to read and anime to watch. Shaun, do you ever plan on showing Rem the Eminence in Shadow? Seth Senju, Sugoi Dekai, that's what she said. Salty Pretzel, Ross Palmer. Roses are red, violets are dull, Lopunny loves Rem and his big hole.
Jesus.
Fucking hell. Rebel Up. Rhiannon Williams, Raw RXT, that's I Love You in Dinosaur. Paco El Musico, Other McNutt wants people to know Rem kills elephants for fun. On the count of 3, release the holy hand grenade. No waifu, no lifu. Nitsira, Nick Harvey. My lawyer has advised me to get my finances in order. Goodbye, guys. Missing Syrup and Oboro till March 8th. Makeka 7 Hierto, Mexican Gone Freaks. Mecha Ara Ara Baby Zap. Levi Bowles is here for Rem's review, not the anime. Leaf Denji and Pochita out of harm's way, Shaun. Kylo. Crystal Vigu, still don't know how to pronounce that one, because I'm bad. Kirby right back at you is my favorite anime. Keegan Talbot, Cassidy, Karma Chaos. Judy Hopps cosplaying a turtle would be Sean's wet dream, says Miska with her angel sister laughing hysterically. Joshua DePanier, Jax, Janine, Jamhands. It's Shaun, not Sean or Sean. It is me, Mr. Referee. If Haruhi was in the Evangelion universe, either all hell would break loose or Shinji wouldn't need to get into the robot. I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franxx for me. I, Remington, think that St. Jude commercial is hilarious because the cancer kid says, when I grow up. But what about Shaun and St. Jude D. Hopps? I, Rem, gave A Place to Live in the Universe a rating of 1 on Mal and stand by it. I get my braces off on St. Valentine's Day and just got my Watakoi box set, so you know what that means, boys. Popcorn and Watakoi after. I don't know what to put here. Hunter Tane, Hunter Davies. Hey, don't cough in my butt. Happy anniversary, Rem. You have now watched more anime than like 99% of the population. Hachiroku, going down on Sean's grandma. Romeo and Juliet is my favorite anime. Glenn Michael Dolan. From Pippa Passes, the years at the spring and days at the morn, patron bells shall ring, for Evangelion month is forewarned. Ferdy the Turdy, Farmer Weeb wants to wish everybody a happy Daki Martra, especially Shaun. Fan died, electrical powers can be strange, says Miska, unwilling to admit that it sometimes sounds like a theremin when she farts. What? Dylan.
Okay. Context: character has electric magnetic powers. That's the joke. That's the context you need for the joke, which is like, yeah, that's a pretty good joke. That's a pretty good joke.
Dylan Hayden, Duck, drink angel milk to prevent wobbly bones, not a conspiracy. Does listening to Rem rip my favorite anime and enjoying it make me a masochist? Rem trademark original, fuck Price is Right. Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story. No. Creed 13, Country Fried Goth, Cheese Monkey, Cameron wants a Comic Girls review. Rock Hard for You Dude says, do the impossible, see the invisible, rah rah, fight the power. Brie loves cheese, Black Star, Big Blue Bear Boy, bad anime idea, a bland bitch protagonist with 7 lolly sisters who is super OP, but can only use powers when turned on by sisters. Oh god. Awkward lesbian who just needs a hug, Angle Angel, Andrew Sinclair, Elise Howard, Alpha Angel, AJ Tunnels, higher than Rem's eyebrows reading some of these patron names. AJ Honey, A Daze, Aaron Heglin. I dropped off for 6 months. At least the name I left here wasn't too weird. Thanks for reading it over and over again. And $10 grandma gum jobs at Brennan's house. There we go. We got there. Now we move on to our lovely boy wizards, who are going to get diving animals. Each of them will have a diving animal who they need to love and take care of forever. And
Jesus, that's a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility. On that list, warning, you're 799 episodes away. Oh, you don't get an animal, you get sent to the big hole.
Oh dear. I don't. Rev, you can't do this. You can't do this.
Unfortunately, the big hole, it yearns for sacrifices. And so, at random, patrons, instead of getting an animal, will get the big hole.
I'm sorry.
Vincent Calabrese, don't worry. You get the Cusk Eel. The Fitness Grand Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. Student, you get the Dumbo Octopus. The brown mamba is back after being abducted to Layton, Utah for 2 years. You're out of Layton, Utah, but you're in the big hole.
Oh, dear.
Swedish Weeb, you get the Amphipeda. No idea. Don't ask me. It's a crustacean. Schmeris, you are going to get Cuvier's Beaked Whale. Cuvier's Beaked Whale? I don't know, but that's yours now. Shaun, say this. Oh, okay. I, Shaun, love my sweet mother's booty taste. Yummy! You get the rabbit fish. Shaun, is your birthday September 20th, question mark? He was never born. See, that's where you've gone wrong.
I just came into the existence.
But you'll be born again, because you're going in the big hole.
Oh, dear. Isn't that the opposite of being born?
You'll die again, because you're going in the big hole.
Jesus.
Shaun, show Rem a sister's all you need. You are going to get the rabbit fish. Did I give that already? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Sarah Bernowski, you are getting the southern elephant seal. Roscop, you get the sperm whale. Robert Atchison, you are going to get the spine-tail mobula. Oh, Shaun, real quick before I forget, we're watching Planet next week, right? You get a giant beaked whale. My Aphrodite, my dog, you get the big hole. Monogatari ticks all my boxes of what Shaun and Rem ever said they want in an anime. This week's MILF and Child Death. You get the northern bottlenose whale. Mike got his Overlord review, also gets the big hole. Miguel DeLeon, you are going to get the leatherback turtle. Massimo Martelli, you get Blainville's beaked whale. Latino saw Denji erase Rem's bloodline with kicks, you get the big hole. It should have been the other Nakano, you get a goblin shark. If you don't watch Healer Girl, an angel beats a penguin up, also I, Rem, am still a girl, you are going to get a short-finned pilot whale. I'm Rem, say that Shaun's grandma is an angel, but I can't hold it back anymore, you get a big hole. Hella Rex, 2 in a row, you also get the big hole.
Jesus.
Go ahead, call the cops who won't silence the voices, they're getting louder, please send help. You get, the Weddle Seal. For the first 100 episodes, I thought this was a Harry Potter fanfiction podcast. You get an Emperor Penguin.
Aw.
Dylan should be let out of his cage, change my mind. You get Dylan in a Speedo. One of nature's, finest diving creatures. Drew, the magical OnlyFans assistant, you get, that's right, the big hole. Does Rem call Shaun dad, or does Shaun call Rem granddad? It's never been said. Both. You get a dolphin. Come down, you get a frogfish.
Oh, I love frogfish.
Cryptid MILF, ooh, be careful, you get a blue-ringed octopus.
Ooh.
Crimson
dangerous.
Reapers, just because of the size, you be careful, you're in the big hole. Carver 271, you are going to get... Have I given out an elephant seal yet?
I don't think so.
Alright, cool. You get an elephant seal. Brian Audit, you get a sealed elephant. Brand new in the packaging.
And it dives?
Oh, yes, it will.
Because it can't get out of the sealed packaging.
Beethoven 1201, you're going to get a poor fool who has crossed to the mafia, asking my fiance, 5 years older, and friends when I should start feeling old just so I can prep and pre-order my walker. Thoughts? You are going to get Kairi Sane, who has one of the best elbow drops, which is a kind of dive, in the business. Animated Z, you get the big hole. And Allfather wants Remington to press the button. Also 33 weeks left until Anime Bonsai. Are you excited, Shaun? And you are going to get, hopefully, this anime's ratings when everybody comes to their senses. Now we move on to Inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun will give you very, very real advice. Totally real. He's not allowed to Google, just from memory, on how to dive.
I've lived in a landlocked state my whole life, Remington.
I trust your expertise. No Googling allowed.
Oh,
all
fuck.
Right. We start with Raftalia, my anime waifu, has returned.
Start by getting diving instruction. You know? That would be step
what
number
a good
one.
Start.
Yeah.
Start by starting.
Yeah.
Next up, happy 5-year anniversary. Don't think I forgot about Dylan. Without you, this pod would sound like shit.
You should try on some, you should try on some wetsuits, You gotta have a good wetsuit. That's important.
You gotta look stylish. That's the number one purpose of diving, just so you look good. Hermione pegs Harry and Ron.
Second, you're gonna want to make sure you got some nice flippers as well. They gotta make sure they fit, because if they don't, then you're not gonna flip very well.
You need to be flipping all around down there.
I mean, yeah, why else would they be called flippers?
Next up, we got my dear old mom.
Oh, man. Diving, huh? Let's see. You gotta go somewhere where there's water. That's the big part. Like, you gotta go, and not just a little water, a lot of water.
Yeah, diving in the ground, like in a cup of water, not enough water.
No, unless you're a clown. Unless you're a clown.
Unless you're a clown. Next up, we got David Norstad.
Oh, man, once you get to the water, you gotta...
What does David need to do?
Once you're at the water, you gotta make sure that you have a friend with you. Sure, you gotta have friends. You have to have friends if you want to go diving. If you have no friends,
you're not
no
allowed
diving.
to solo dive. If you are an unlikable person, you cannot dive. Blood Cell, for real, not the white one this time. I'm sick of that Caucasian audacity, Caucasity, if you will.
Good advice for you. Make sure you have a full air tank.
Full air tank, but empty bladder. See, that's very... Don't mix those up.
Yeah, because I'll tell you right now, once it's in the wetsuit, it does not leave the wetsuit until it comes off.
And last but not least, we have Beatrice was on him like a piranha on a corn dog.
That is a very vivid mental image. The most important bit of advice for when you're diving is to make sure you have fun.
If you don't, then you will die immediately.
Yeah, categorically, unfortunately.
If you guys want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister. Okay.
Oh man, the car wash that I got at Domino's Pizza, 10 out of 10. Oh, they do car washes? No, I didn't get a car wash there.
Certainly it's not Remington's gaping asshole, so...
Oh god, nice and frosted. Cream pies. I want to love, but in my life, I've been burned by a lot of very mediocre Welcome to Big Hole Cast, where every week we talk about a different, very sizable hole. Week 1, Dylan's asshole.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, Dylan. Let's get started. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1.
I joke. It's so tight. Dylan, let me finger your butthole. Your waifu is trash compared to Mr. DeVito. And I'm just trapped with you, chuckle fucks. I'm the tsundere. Being a weeb is worse than being in an incestuous love triangle. Everywhere there's penis.
Just loose everywhere.
Yeah, Niori is like, fuck yeah, brother. I dig that shit.